And this one is a competitive dungeon builder where players are going to be drafting cards in order to build their own personal dungeon. The way the game works is that each round players are going to be building one level of their dungeon, and at the start of the game each player is dealt a blueprint card that's going to be gaining you different victory points if you're able to achieve certain layouts that are defined on that card. Each player is dealt a hand of cards, then everyone's going to be choosing one card from their hand in order to immediately add to their dungeon. Then they're all going to be passing the remaining cards over to their neighbor. This continues until all the cards have been drafted and added to a player's dungeon. Each of the cards can have all sorts of different icons and creatures on them that you'll be trying to match up with the layout on your blueprint, but then each of the cards can also grant you additional victory points, and each of the cards will also grant you some amount of gold. The gold that each card gets you is outlined on the bottom of the card, and you're going to be gaining that amount of gold at the end of that round. And it's important to note that this does not stack from round to round, because the way that the cards are laid out is so that when you add a new row, it's actually going to be covering up the coins on the previous row. But between rounds, players will also be able to spend this gold in order to buy different traps, creatures, or additional victory points that they'll be able to distribute into their dungeon. And also at the end of each round, there's going to be a new challenge card introduced that's going to give new objectives for all the players to gain more victory points. The game continues like this until each player has completed a full 4x4 grid dungeon, and then players are going to be adding up their victory points from their cards, their blueprint card, as well as any of the challenge cards that they're able to complete. You're also going to be gaining victory points for each of the connected rooms that you're able to connect from your entrance, and then the player with the most victory points wins the game. And if this one does sound interesting to you, you can check it out, and I have links in the description below.